Sutam Devam Kamsa Chanura Mardhanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum Tameva Mata Cha Pitattvameva Tameva Bandhusya Sakhattvameva Tameva Vidya Dravidam Tameva Tameva Sarvam Amadeva Deva Tameva Sarvam Gurudeva Deva. Hari Om. We are doing the 14th chapter of Gita, of the Panchadasi of Vidyaranya Swami, where he is discussing the Jnani, Jivan Mukta and Jivan Muktyasya Ka Bhasha. See, that's Arjuna's question actually. Says, how does he behave? How does he transact? And this is a explanation now in the how does he transact. There is nothing really he need to do. And that's how Krishna also says, Prajahati yada kaman sarvan partha manogatan atmani eva atmanatushtaha. He is reveling in himself by himself, and there is nothing really, he has no desire to perform anything at all. And therefore, no actions can really come. Not only he doesn't have a desire, and he also doesn't have the notion that I am a doer, I had to do. And here he is giving different examples of worldly example he doesn't have to do. Outside worldly example also he has given that he doesn't have no desire to go any loka because he is already there. And both up and down also, both in the hell also he is there, heaven also, because everything is in him only. So neither he himself doesn't go through anything at all. And even at the body level, he says, Nidra, Bhiksha, Snana, Saucha, and Na Ichchami, Na Karomi. I neither have a desire to take bath, or to sleep, or to eat, or to take care of myself. All those things are not, neither I have a desire, nor I do it also. But other people say, you are doing, sir. What are you saying? You are doing it. You see that I am doing it. That's your problem. Personally, I am never can do, because I am infinite. How can I do? The particular body, mind, intellect, in my presence it does, because I am enlivening it. And in my adhyaksha, the Prakriti is performing as the Prakrutyevacha karmani kriyamanani sarvasya. All actions are being done by the Prakriti only. I just sit back and enjoy how the Prakriti is doing. So therefore, Drushtaraschet kalpayanti. So people who have seers of this thing, that I am eating, I am sleeping, I am doing, I am complaining, I am acting, I am criticizing, I am getting angry, I am getting, all these things are being noticed by other people, and therefore I don't do it. Let them think that I am. In principle, it doesn't matter to me what they think, because I know I am never a doer. 46. Gunja punjadi dahyeta, Gunja punjadi dahyeta, Nanyaropita vahnina, Nanyaropita vahnina, Nanyaropita samsara, Nanyaropita samsara, Dharmaniva maham bhaje, Dharmaniva maham bhaje. Together, Gunja punjadi dahyeta, Gunja punjadi dahyeta, Nanyaropita vahnina, Nanyaropita samsara, Dharmaniva maham bhaje, Dharmaniva maham bhaje. So there is a sloka also in the Bhagavad Gita, Pasyan Srunan Jagran, and all that none indriyarteshu vartante iti dharayam. So Pasyan Srunvan, all those seeing, doing, and I never do. And nobody does. It is the seeing is going on, hearing is going on, eating is going on, touching is going on. All senses can function by the Prakriti itself. Indriyani indriyarteshu vartante iti dharayam. So indriyas, the sense organs will function in their respective fields, but I am not a doer. Let them function. As long as the body is functioning, they will function. As long as the body is functioning, activities at the body level go on. As long as the body is functioning, the body has to be taken care and will be taken care by the Prakriti itself. Who is the care? the body will take care. Body includes body, mind, intellect, everything. So here he gives another example here. Gunja punjadi. So anya aropita, superimposed by others. Vaknina, by the fire. Gunja punjadi, the red berries. So there are very red berries, a heap of red berries, and from a distance, and if they're all packed in that, it looks like a red hot. Something is red hot there, and the very sight gives you analogy that there is a fire going on, and they are on fire, and that is a superimposition of onlookers. And from the point of red berries, there is nothing to do with the fire. It says we are red, period. And we look like how the fire looks when it is red hot. Something is red hot, it looks like that. And looking at a distance from that and thinking that there is a fire out there is only onlookers' problem. From the point of the red berries, there is no fire at all. That's what here he says. Anya aropitaha, by superimposed by others. Vaknina, by Gunja punjadi, the heap of red berries. Nadahyati, they do not get fired, they do not get burned by the imaginary fire by other people's seed. Evam, in the same way. Anya aropita samsara dharman. Other people attribute that I am having a samsara. Hey, he's suffering, he's having a throat cancer, or he's having this cancer, or that problem, physical problem. All other people, because the body will have a problem, and the mind may also have a problem. Mind will have a pain when there is something else. So just like anybody else, if he touches the fire, that body gets burned, and he will feel fire. He will feel pain as a result of it. And if he touches a thorn picks, he will have a problem, he will blood also. All those reactions, just like a jnani, a normal person who doesn't know, who is not a Jivan Mukta, he also goes through the same process. But other people think that he is also suffering. So what jnanam is that? That's people think that Jnani, they evaluate based on the body, mind, intellect. Jnanam is at the intellect level. So someone recently, in even Advaita, Bhagavan Ramana Maharshi is not realized. Although there are people who certify who is realized and who is not realized. And they quote the Sankara Mathadipati saying that he didn't say he is not a jnani, he is a Mahatma, but he didn't say he is a jnani. Therefore, he didn't, the Shankaracharya of the Sringeri Math did not certify him as the jnani. Somebody has to certify somebody is jnani or not. If nobody can certify it, therefore don't go and give issues certification to other people. He is a jnani, Ramana Maharshi is not a jnani, and other person is jnani. All this is only useless and unnecessarily talks, because there is no meaning in that. Why? Because I cannot evaluate anybody else whether he is a jnani or not. So whether he's a jnani or ajnani also, if he says he is a jnani, say we have to believe what he says. But if he is a jnani, then just believe if he wants to know. No jnani will go and declare tom-tom that I am a jnani. One fellow said, in fact, I have realized on this particular day and particular time, and everybody pounced on him. Whether no jnani will declare it, because there is no point in declaring that from now on I am a Jivan Mukta. I don't need that, because they say, how come you are Jivan Mukta? Nobody, I won't believe it. Then what's the point? So someone asked me, say, have you realized? Or should I answer? Says, suppose I say yes, are you going to believe it? Says no, then why ask? If you don't believe it, then why ask? Why do you want to know? If it is a question of your belief system, you can believe whatever you want, has nothing to do with me. So therefore, the anya aropitaha, the samsara dharman, the superimposed, the sufferings of samsara all that on top of the Jnani, it is their problem, is nothing to do with it. Not only samsara, even superimposition of a Jivan Mukta state is also a problem. I don't have to say the Bhagavan Ravana Maharshi is a Jivan Mukta or not. That if he is Jivan Mukta, he is. If he is not, that is nothing to, I cannot evaluate either way. So question is only whether I am a Jivan Mukta or not, whether I have realized the truth or not. What is my test? We already discussed that. When I make a contact in the world, I won't get burned. That's what is the litmus test that the Chandogya says. I don't get means I don't get upside down, ups and downs. In the transactional world, there will always be samsara, but I don't myself recognize that body is going through samsara, but not I. So I should be unaffected by the ups and downs. Everything comes as a prasada buddhi. So that's what prasada means. When you go to temple, whatever he gives and say this is the prasadam, we accept with a reverential attitude. Same attitude a jnani will have whatever he faces in the world. That comes because of the prarabdha karma, results are coming, and that becomes a samsara. So that's why, so whenever if a jnani mind is getting affected, it's a time to withdraw and think back and re-establish and abide in the knowledge that Aham Brahmasmi. It's a sadhana for him. So other people's imaginations are nothing to do with the jnanis. Now next sloka 47. Shrunvanta jnata tattvaste Shrunvanta jnata tattvaste Jnanan kasmat srunomyaham Jnanan kasmat srunomyaham Manyantam samsayapannaha Manyantam samsayapannaha Na manyeha masamsayaha Na manyeha masamsayaha. Together, Shrunvanto jnata tattvaste Jnanan kasma srunomyaham Manyantam samsayapannaha Na manyeha masamsayaha. Now we are talking about the sotavyaha, mantavyaha, nididhyasitavya. You have to go and listen to the talk, to hear the scriptures for those, so that you can gain the knowledge of that. And you have to reflect on the teaching until it becomes clear. And you have to meditate on it so that you become established in the knowledge. So, sotavyaha, mantavyaha, nididhyasitavya, all this for whom? For the one who has not realized. If I already realized, what is there for me to do? So here the statement is in reference to that. And Shrunvan Shrunvantu Ajnataha Tattvaste. So they, you see, Ajnana Tattvaha, those ignorant people, those Shrunvantu, let them listen to the scriptures. Aham jnanam. So since I already know it, there is no point for me to listening to the scriptures. Aham jnana, I know already, self. So kasmat, what for shrunami? What have I had to go and listen? I already know that Aham Brahmasmi. Then, you go and listen to the scriptures. So say, I already know what it is. If I already know that 2 times 2 is 4 and all that teaching in the second grade, and I already learned, I got a PhD already. So you go and listen to the second grade and go to the class and listen to second grade. What for? So that is like that. So already have that knowledge. So therefore he says, so the knower of it already, and I know. So kasmat sunyamaham. Why should I listen to any more? Manyantam samsayapannaha. Those who have doubts, let them reflect on the teaching. That's called sotavyaha, mantavya. Those who have doubts should reflect until the doubts get clear. I have no doubt anymore because I know I am Brahman. So if I have doubt, there is no question of doubts anymore. So why should I reflect on anything? Na manyeham asamsayaha. So there is no reason for me to reflect. Here he says, I am Brahman. From Brahman point, there is no point of any sotavya, mantavya is all at the level of transaction level. I can listen and go, that's a separate issue, but to revel in myself as a tool for take the mind to revel in that until I abide in that. So I can listen to scripture, not listen to scriptures, anything I can do. So not that I have to do it. Here the question of the so tavyaha means nidhi, that I had to listen, I don't need to because I already know. So that's tavyaha part is being to be removed. Parajnani. 48. Viparyaste nidhi dhyane, viparyaste nidhi dhyane, dhyaneti. Kim dhyanam viparyayat, kim dhyanam aviparyayat, kim dhyanam aviparyayat, dehatmatva viparyasam na kadachit bhajamyaham. So in the last sloka you're talking about srotavyaha, mantavya. Here we are talking about the nididhyasana. Viparyasto nididhyane jane kim dhyanam viparyayat dehatmatva viparyasam na kadachit bhajamyaham. Viparyastaha. So one who has the erroneous knowledge that I cannot be Brahman. Why? Because my experience shows that I am a finite entity and Brahman is infinite entity. So there is a disparity in the knowledge versus the experience. That's the problem. Experientially, I feel I am finite, but knowledge says I am infinite, and therefore there is the disparity called Viparita Buddhi, and for that I had to contemplate, even though I understood and says you are Brahman, yes, I am infinite, but how come I am feeling finite things? That means I need to contemplate on that. That's called the Nididhyasanam. So Viparyastaha, one who has erroneous knowledge, Nididhyasane, let him contemplate and meditate on the teaching. Avipariyat, one who does not have any of this, one who does not have any viparita knowledge, any wrong notions about erroneous knowledge. Jhanam kim, what is there to meditate? So meditation is only for meditation on what? Meditation that aham brahmasmi, I am Brahman, I am infinite, I am not this finite. So I had to meditate on that. There's a chapter described in the Upanishad itself. I think it's the 8th chapter or 9th chapter, where one meditate on that. Dhyaranya talks about. Now by this time we have graduated to 14th chapter. That means we have realized. So we don't need to meditate anymore, provided you realize. So therefore viparita knowledge only because the scriptural knowledge is contradicting my experience knowledge, then I have to meditate on scripture, because scripture is telling the truth, not my experience. Aham jhanam kim, aham dehatmatva viparyasam kadachit nabhajami. So I am the notion that I am a jiva. So therefore there is no viparita knowledge there. Kadachit nabhajami. So what is the use for me to meditate on what? So there is a sloka in the Avadhuta Gita also. Aham jata paranjeyam akhandam khandate katam. So says I have to meditate. Who has to meditate what? What if I am Brahm? Aham jata paranjeyam. That I am a meditator and this is to be meditated upon. You are dividing something indivisible, that itself is wrong. So who is going to meditate on what? I am always in the state, that is in the meditative state. So that's what has to be understood. So how is he going to work in the world, conduct in the world? He is going to be talk more. 49. Aham manushya ityadi vyavaharo vinapyamum viparyasam chirabhyasta viparyasam chirabhyasta vasanato vikalpyate together aham manushya ityadi vyavaharo vinapyamum viparyasam chirabhyasta vasanato vikalpyate. So manushya, aham manushya, I am a human being and I am a man and she is a woman and this is a dog, this is and so on. That kind of notions is only at a superficial. So in the Gita also Krishna says Vidya Vinaya Sampanne Brahmane Gavihastini Sunischaiva Subhakaicha, the Pandita Samadarshanaha. So the Vidya Vinaya Sampanne Brahmana, so one who has a scholar who has studied everything and looking at the scholar, Vidya Vinaya Sampanne and Gavi Hastini, and a cow and a elephant and Suni the dog and Sopakaicha, even the dog eater, looking at everyone, I see oneness only. There is no difference in any of that. So difference at the essence level. So essentially it is Lord himself is appearing in different things. Superficially dog is different, dog eater is different, the wise man, the scholar is different, and a cow is different, and an elephant. Don't go in front of cow. So in the Yoga Vasishta, when Vasishta was teaching everything is one, then Rama got a doubt. Says, does he really believe in this? So when Vasishta was coming towards this one, he sent an elephant to chase him to see what happens. Of course, Vasishta ran away from the elephant and to save himself. So when Vasishta came and Rama asked the question, "Sir, you said everything is one, but why did you run away from the elephant? The elephant and you are not different. Then why are you running away from it? So if everything is mithya, then why are you running?" So the sister replied, even the running is also part of the mithya only. So a jnani differentiates at the level of transaction level, a dog and an elephant and a scholar and a dog eater and so on. At the transaction level there is no problem, but at the absolute level he says the oneness that pervades everything. Same Lord expressing or same I am expressing in different. So Sarva Bhutastam Atmanam Sarva Bhutani Chamatmani, one who sees oneself in everywhere and everything is in oneself. That's how Krishna says. And also says, Yo Mam Pasyati Sarvatra Sarvancha Mai Pasyati, one who sees me everywhere and everything in me, Na Pranasyami, he is never away from me. So either I see that Lord is everywhere, there is no more me, or I am the self everywhere and there is nothing other than myself. Both are same knowledge wise, and one who has that knowledge, there is no transactionally he may do it, but absolute level he understands oneness. Here aham manushyaha, I am a human being, iti adi vyavaharaha. So amum viparyasaham vina. So without the body identification, how can I say I am the body, I am a human being? Only with the body identification I can say I am a human being, and that's different from other bodies. Even though I am a Brahman and I know I am pervading, I am not a human being or an elephant or a dog or anything. I am neither a object nor a subject. I am something that pervades both, adhishthanam of everything. Even though I have understood, he says, Chira abhyasta vasanat, because of the abhyasta, because of the long practice of identifying with the body, the vasanas are still there in terms of prarabdha karma. So life and a life and a life after coming with the I am the body, I am the mind, I am the intellect, with those notions are coming. Therefore, because of that lingering or impressions of that, of the vasanas longer, avikalpyate, it's possible to have a body identification for transactional purposes and also for operational purposes, but at the same time clear understanding that Aham Brahmasmi. So the familiar example I give for the modern scientific minds is, once I understood everything is electrons, protons and neutrons, I have a clear understanding the substantive, the adhara, the support of everything is nothing but pure fundamental particles. Yet that knowledge is at the understanding level, but when I am transacting, I am not going to eat garbage just because there are electrons, protons and neutrons. Garbage is different and the food is different. So at that level, I can differentiate, knowing very well they are one and the same. So that is the real knowledge. So all absolute knowledge does not deprive me of a transactional knowledge. Transactions have to be, Vyavaharika Satyam will remain, but Paramarthika Satyam is understood. But when it comes to Vyavaharika, it's only at the transactional level. I have to keep remembering that I do not get lost in the Vyavaharika and forget my true nature and re-identify with that. Whenever I time, I have to go back and recognize that Aham Brahmasmi, I am everything. So keep that mind all the time churning, that Aham Brahmasmi, until that is naturally occurring and even while transacting. So vasanas are still lingering, vasanas will pull you down into the transaction level, but as long as I am in transacting, I cannot but transact. And in the transactional world, cannot but identify with the body, with the mind and intellect. At the same time, I have to recognize that body problems do not belong to me, mind problems do not belong to me, even though I have to take care of body problems as the body problems, go to hospital, what need to be done, take medicines in time, all those things. So, Vyavaharika, Paramarthika, no confusion. Understanding is, Vyavaharika is not really real, only transactionally real. Brahma Satyam, Jagan Mithya. Mithya aspect has to be clear, and that's what essentially the teaching is. Next, 50. Prarabdha karmani chine, prarabdha karmani chine, vyavaharo nivartate, karma kshayetvasau naiva, samye dhyana sahasrata. Together, prarabdha karmani chine, vyavaharo nivartate, karma kshayetvasau naiva, samye dhyana sahasrata. So here you are talking about the nature of karma here. Karma cannot be removed by doing sitting and meditation. So I don't have to do because I am going to do meditation, and that's not possible here. Prarabdha karmani chine vyavahare nivartate. Until prarabdha karma gets exhausted. Prarabdha karma chine. So as long as prarabdha karma is there and until it gets exhausted, vyavaharo nivartate. Vyavaharaha, one cannot but act in the world. So even with a jnani, even though he has realized the body, mind, intellect are due to prarabdha karma, until the prarabdha karma gets exhausted, he has to transact. Here prarabdha karma, we said, are many components involved. One is of his own actions that are prarabdha karma, and also samashti prarabdha karma also pulls the body, mind, intellect. So not only you, but other people depend on it, and they need this body, mind, intellect for transactions that will keep also the body, mind, intellect. So for that sake also it is. And extending this, those who are in need of a teacher and who in need of this kind of teacher who has gone through this training and who can express and explain in the language that the people can understand, their prarabdha keeps this body, mind, intellect intact until there is enough that can be communicated, and Lord feels that now there are other people there that can do, therefore he doesn't have to, this body, mind, intellect doesn't have to be there. So this is about prarabdha karma. We'll go back because we have to understand this prarabdha karma properly and correctly, and we cannot get rid of karma by doing the sahasrataha dhyana. Thousands of meditations you can do, nothing will happen. Action has to be, result has to be brought. With this we stop here. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Sri Gurubhyo Namaha.